website, and here you can download the one for Mac OS. It takes a while. Ollama is downloaded. Let's install it. Okay, seems like it is installed. Let's go try it out. It gives you the warning because it's downloaded, but it should be fine. Just open the terminal and type Ollama, and you can see that you have Ollama available, and typing Ollama list. So there are all these commands that are available, and list tells us which are the models that are available to us on this system. So as you can see, I don't have any of these models available locally, and one way to install a model would be to pull that from the registry, but to be able to pull, I need to see what are the models available, and for that I can check here in the Ollama website. I can see there are a lot of these models available. What I need is a very tiny model that I can download quickly, and I could go with this Quen 0.6b. So what you need to do is just hover over these names, click on this icon to copy, and then you can type Ollama pull and just paste that name here like this, and it would pull the manifest for this particular model and download the model files. And as you can see, there's a 500 MB file, and it will take a while to download. I'll come back to it once it's downloaded and show you how to use it. The model has downloaded successfully, and now when I run Ollama list, it tells me that I have a Quen 3 0.6b model downloaded. There is show which shows information about a model. Maybe we can try that for our model. So I want to show information about this model Quen. Okay, so there are a lot of information here about the architecture, which is a Quen 3 model. The number of parameters here, it's 750 million parameters. Context length is 40,000. Embedding length, quantization. Don't worry if you don't know all these technical terms. We will get to it at some point in the other videos. For now, just know that if you ever need model information, you can use the show command to fetch it. So we have Ollama run. So this is the best option to run a model that we have. Okay, so now it's trying to run the model, and a great way to see if the model is running on these M1 chips is to look at the activity monitor and go to view or window and look at GPU history. Oh, this is a CPU history, but we can look at the GPU history as well, and here you will see the model is consuming some amount of GPU, but not much. So let's start high. How are you? So there's a thinking model. So as we can see here, Quen is a thinking model. What it means is it can spend some time thinking about the response before responding to your question. And here it tries to think about what we're asking and then responds quickly. And on the left side, you can see as we use the model, the GPU is getting consumed. And can you calculate all the atoms in the solar system? Explain it like I'm 5 years old. I'm trying to give it a problem that it has to think more about. So we can see this GPU getting used a lot, and you can see this big line all the way to the top here, and that was it using all of GPU power. And now maybe write an essay of 1,000 words about it. So I want to see it getting used for a longer time, for a longer duration, and I'm trying to get it to write a lot more. And with that, hopefully you can see this getting used. Yeah, this time for 2 bars instead of longer, because it finished writing quickly. So if you can see these small models, which is 700 million parameters, can respond pretty fast, even for a 1,000-word essay, and it fits perfectly fine on these GPUs. And I think it's not even using up a lot of the GPU resources on this system. So you could, in theory, use a lot larger models, depending on how much you like and what your system allows. And you can also see what are the options they have here. You can also load another model, have multiple models used in Ollama, keep downloading models as you like, just to showcase some of the benefits of using these local models. You can ask it anything private that you don't like to discuss or put up on a publicly available model, so you don't know what happens to your data there. And in this case, because Ollama, everything is running locally, so you can ask anything. Helper commands again for Ollama. So there is this serve which starts Ollama server. There are a lot of environment variables that you could set, like what is the IP address that you would like to serve on, and how many minutes do you want to keep it alive if there were no requests coming in during that time, or how many models, how many queue, and all these things that you don't have to worry about. But if you need, you know where to set it. You can just set an environment variable and configure this. For now, I'll just serve, and it says that there is a Ollama server running, probably with the app, and let's see how it looks. And you can see that here Ollama is running, and Ollama has a few endpoints that we could use with any of our applications. And to look at those endpoints, maybe let's go to its GitHub page, and here you can scroll down to find the REST API exactly, and you can see that you can use these REST APIs to call like how you would with any other endpoint like OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini, and all you need to do is pass the model name that you have with the prompt. There is more API documentation here. There are a lot of endpoints. I would start with looking at the number of models that are present, and there is an endpoint called API tags, and we can try that. So in here you can see this is the model that I have available, which is the Quen model, and we have already seen this. Let's see what other things we can do with this model. These endpoints is call it from a chat app or whatever other applications that you're building. And if you don't want to use an expensive proprietary model like OpenAI, which charges you per token, and you can use these endpoints. So let's look at one of these endpoints. So we could use the call command with this payload, which takes in the model name, the prompt, and try to get some response. So here we go. This is a call command. What I need to do is modify this so it can point to my model. So it's a Quen 3 0.6b model, and I would keep the question as the same, why is the sky blue? And what is happening here is it's trying to respond with a streaming output, and it gives us all the tokens that this output generated. We don't have a way to convert this, how to give the tokens that are in English than the token IDs in this case. So these are the parameters that are present, and the streaming response, I don't need that. Okay, this is the non-streaming response, and I probably need that. And let me try this. Try to add a stream false, and this should. So what it's doing now is it's generating all the responses and then sending us the output. And what you see here is the token IDs. So it has a lot of output. We don't need to look at all the output. What we need is this part here, which is a response. And it's hard to read because it's a JSON output here. But what we could do is actually pass it through a parser like JQ, which parses JSON output. And here you can see that this is the JSON keys that are responded, so similar to what is shown in this documentation. And there are a lot of token IDs. We don't care about the token IDs, but what we're looking for is this response here. It's a nicely formatted JSON response that you can use in your applications. If you're building locally, you can use this endpoint and do creative things with it. And if you want to look at other details, you can look at these commands, which tells you what are your running models. If you want to remove a model, you can stop running a model. So let me just stop it. So it says I need a parameter, so of course I should add this model name that I want to stop. And now if I see, there is no running model. So we have freed up the memory or the GPU memory, and it's back to as it was before.